People often point out that they can't help it. They can't help with the anti-gay bullying because it says right there in Leviticus, it says right there in Timothy, it says right there in Romans that being gay is wrong. We can learn to ignore the in the Bible about gay people.
Does that type of language undercut his anti-bullying message? Joining us right now is Rick Tuttle. He is a teacher and journalism advisor at Sutter Union High School in California. He attended the conference with a few of his students who, a number of them walked out, didn't they?
They did.
And,
absolutely.
Okay, so they hired this guy, Dan Savage, who has an anti-bullying message, to present what kind of a message, and what kind of a message did he present?
Well, we went in there. I mean, as an educator, I take bullying very seriously, my duty to protect all students from bullying. And so I thought there was value in going to this conference, to this speech, which I thought was going to be about anti-bullying, but what we got was a vulgar, profanity-laced attack on Christians. And some of my students actually asked me if they could leave, and I said definitely they could. Yeah,
we see some of the kids leaving right there. So he was supposed to have an anti-bullying message, but it seemed like he was bullying some of the Christians, didn't it?
Oh, sure. Well, they were basically a captive audience, and you know, he had the bully pulpit, if you would say so to speak. And basically, this was their way to say, you know what, I'm going to take a stand. And frankly, it took a lot of guts. And these students, as you see, they're walking out. I mean, it occurs to me as I see the video that this is what we teach kids to do when they're being bullied, is to walk away, and that's what they did. And then basically, when they got outside the convention center, he was still lobbing insults at them, basically saying that they were pansies, I think is the word he used, or something a little coarser actually related to that. So basically insulting them even after they left. So.
Right. And as they were leaving, here's exactly the passage you were talking about, where a number of the students were grossed out by what he was saying, got up, left, and then he sent this message to those Christians.
So you can tell the Bible guys in the hall, they can come back now because I'm done beating up the Bible. It's funny, as someone who's on the receiving end of beatings that are justified by the Bible, how pansy some people react when you push back.
I understand you were offended as an educator, weren't you?
Absolutely. I mean, again, like I said, I take my responsibility to protect all students, you know, from being bullied. And so I inadvertently or unwittingly took them to a place where a number of my students were highly offended and bullied, you know, to the point where they wanted to leave. So I felt fairly duped, actually, by having gone to this conference, or at least this particular session of the conference. And frankly, a lot of those kids that got up, I mean, they're in front of thousands of their fellow peers who were cheering through most of the speech and during this part of the most, you know, offensive part. So to say that they were pansies, and the word he used, to me, I don't think was a fair characterization. It took a lot of courage, actually.
Well, here's a